We're at 1468 Montecito Drive in Los Angeles, California, 90031. And this is Tuesday, about 1:20 p.m., June 21st. And we are going to run a camera again through the 4-inch main line clean out. We have just run a hydro jetter and jetted out the majority of the roots so that we can see the condition of the pipe. And we could see that it's broken in numerous places. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to run the camera through. Wipe our camera lens off. And this is our garage. And this is our backyard. basically we had to mark out and locate some areas. Now we're going to run through this 4-inch mainline cleanout that is right next to the gas meter and the little side garage door. Here's our air conditioning condenser, and there is the... We've run the jetter through here. We've run the jetter through here. We have quite a few offsets in the 4-inch clay. We don't have a whole lot of root intrusion or anything at this point, but we do have some pretty substantial offsets toward the end of the run. Like these are not bad, small separations right here. Got a little pretty good offset there. That joint, not bad at all. This one we have a very large offset, and the next one we have a very large offset. This is to the drop. This is the drop going into the 6-inch. We're going to transition to 6-inch here in a minute. Right here is where we transition. You can see the 4-inch, and then we go into a larger pipe right here. We had some root intrusion here. It wasn't too bad at this joint. You see remnants of a little bit on the top right-hand side. We couldn't jet this 100% because of the fact that we have so many cracks and breaks in this line. That area doesn't appear to be too bad. We had some minor root intrusions there. Right here we have a large break at 55 feet, 8 inches. As you can see, that whole section on the right-hand side is ready to come loose and pop out of there. And there was a whole lot of roots in that joint. And then again, we have a crack all the way around. You can see where the joint is, and then you see the roots growing through. That's growing through a crack in the pipe right there, which starts at about maybe 8 o'clock area all the way around. It goes all the way around. You can see it. It goes all the way around to about the 11 o'clock area. And that's just a piece of the root that we blew out of there. It's loose. That's a very large piece of root. And then we have a very large offset right here. I'll try and see if I can push this piece of root out of our way. Kind of hard to push because it's in a turn. But that's a very, very large offset right there. And we have another very large offset right here, where you can see the whole face of the pipe, and you also see concrete protruding. This is going into the city sewer. I don't know if I can pass this area. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to jump over that offset right there. That offset is very, very large, and that's dropping down into the city sewer. We were able to get through there with a jetter, but we couldn't jump this area with our camera. And this is the connection to the city sewer. And we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we just ran through with the realtors the issue right here. We have an issue where you're seeing the whole face of the pipe down at the connection to the city sewer. That has shifted drastically, and then the next joint as well has shifted quite a bit. You can see, you don't see any of the face of the pipe at the bottom. It just kind of dropped, and then at the top you see where you see the whole face of the pipe. And in this joint, there's that large crack, as we showed, all the way from maybe the 7 or 8 o'clock area all the way around to the 11 o'clock area up there. And this joint, you have this large piece off to the right that is kind of just hanging in there. It's kind of wedged in there, but that's going to pop out. So you're going to have water going into the ground even more than what it is now, and this sewer line can sever very easily. It's not going to have much support. That thing's cracked all the way around. See where it's broken here? It's broken at the bottom at about maybe the 4 o'clock area, and then it goes all the way up around to about the 11 o'clock area. Pipe's broken pretty bad. And these other joints coming back aren't too terrible. They're in fair condition. But you've only got a couple joints. You've only got a couple more pieces of pipe. So the entire 6-inch sewer lateral needs to be replaced. And if you're replacing it and you're digging that up, you've got enough other joints in the 4-inch piping that have large offsets, like this one right here. Very large offset in that stack. And that piece as well. And you've got other offsets. You've got to dig this up at the property line. So at that point, you're better off to replace the 4-inch and the 6-inch. This one's offset quite a bit. You just drop right down into it. You can see how the camera actually drops into it because that thing's offset about 1.5 inches. Earth movement breaks and shifts the clay piping. And we're making a turn and coming back. Got another offset joint there as well, where it drops down into it. See the whole face of the pipe at the top. That's on the side of the garage. And we have another pretty large offset here. Same thing, we drop down into it. Got about a good inch right there. Whole face of that pipe is showing. And we're pulling back up out of the mainline cleanup. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.